Hey guys, it's Heather with the Mosco, and today we are back where it all started. A couple years ago, my first video was moving some stuff around in the flower bed in front of my house. And I've never gotten it right since or put in perennials or shrubs, and today is that day. Today we are going to be planting up these beds. So I'm sitting on my front porch. To the left of me, there's always been a flower bed right here, and throughout the years I've been trying to figure out what I want to do with it. And I did decide that I didn't like that it's not symmetrical, and I want a flower bed over here too. My house is in the shade for the most part. We live up in the woods, and it's very majestic and beautiful, and I love it. But that means that plants, this is kind of full sun, but it borderlines the more we go this way on being shady. So we need things that can tolerate both of those conditions. Also, the house is extremely dark. It's a dark reddish orangish color. So I don't want like a dark foliage plant. I want something that will pop up here. And then I also like bright and saturated colors because they do tend to pop. And also it needs to be the right size. So these beds are roughly, I don't know, 6 feet wide, something like that. So I wanted something that would only be about 3 to 4 feet tall and wide, because I don't want it to get so close to the house, but I do want it to be big enough to take up, if you can notice, there's distance between the porch and the ground, and that's really kind of a black hole space where a snake has been living, so I'll be on critter alert because you know I don't like to be startled. So I needed something that was 3 to 4 feet wide. So after much deliberation, like several years of it, because I thought, you know, I might want to do a mixture of plants and get a lot of different things in here. But it's not wide enough to kind of have multiple layers. I could probably do something small in front of these, but let's get to the plants that we did choose, and I'll quit rambling. If I didn't mention, we live in East Tennessee. We garden in Zone 7B, and it has been raining profusely, which is going to be great for our ability to dig because I have super, super heavy clay soil, especially up here. It will come out looking like we're throwing pottery. But it'll make it easier to dig. And there is drip in this bed, but there's not drip in this bed. So we need to remove the back row of drip because it doesn't need 3 lines over here. And we need to put drip over here. We'll just connect it underneath the porch. So the plants that we ended up choosing, I ended up going with all one plant. And then on the corner of each of these beds, I did pick up 2 large terracotta, like 20, 22 inch planters. I want to put in them a weeping blue spruce, a smaller one, because they'll grow slow, and the blue contrasting the orangish red of my house is going to be fantastic. Jason is somewhere right now asking me why I love those quote-unquote sad-looking trees. I think they're architectural and beautiful. I love to add more evergreen interest, especially like architectural looking evergreens. I think it looks really beautiful up here. To do that adds to the log cabin feeling, and you know we about to drape these with some Christmas lights. So the plants that we're putting in, we'll just do a complete line other than those pots, are going to be these. I ordered them, they came yesterday, and it's almost July, you guys. So plants are looking not so great when you order them. They look perfectly healthy. There's even some new growth on them, but clearly they had to be sheared back. Probably should have ordered them at a different time. But I ordered 22 of the Proven Winners Invincible Limetta hydrangea. The reason that I chose these was they get that white that ages to chartreusey green lime color, because that will contrast really well and be a really bright pop against the orangish reddish of the house. They'll be the right size. They get 3 to 4 feet tall and wide. We're gonna plant them, 3 feet spacing, which reminds me I need to find something to space 3 feet so that they can make a nice little hedge for us. And then that way in front of them we can do some annuals. We could do some lambsy or something like that if we want to, but we could put something in front of them if we want to, and they won't be so far back that they're going to impede the house or cause problems back there. Also, pretty far, if you go too far back, water tends to drip off the gutters and causes a problem. So these are hydrangeas. They're a smooth hydrangea. We will not be pruning on these at all. We're going to put them, they are rated for sun to part shade, which is exactly what we've got here. Native plant, cold hardy. It is a zone 3 to 8. We're zone 7, so we're good on that front. 3 to 4 feet tall and wide, spacing 3 to 5 feet. We're gonna go 3 feet on them to get them to be a nice hedge for us. But I like that they will have those white blooms and then they will mature to that greenish color. So for a long period of time, we will have bloom interest. That is the right color for what we're going for here. And again, we will not be pruning on these, so we don't have to worry about that. So we've got 22 of them. So what we're gonna do here is first we need to set it. I've already come through with my weed blowtorch and killed the weeds in some of these, and we do have a bunch of mulch up here because this desperately needs to be mulched, and I think that's gonna make a huge difference. But what we'll do is I'll get up and show you the area that we're talking about, show you the plants, and then we'll remove that third line of drip, put a line of drip here, 2 lines of drip, because that way if we wanna plant something in front of them, I'd really like to do seasonal plantings in front of them as well. We'll see how that goes. And we'll also put our pots on drip, and then we'll go ahead and drill the holes for these. The only issue that I've got right now is that I ordered bags to prevent vole damage because I do have vole trails up here. You know, I battle voles. They make like these mesh bags. I have done chicken wire before, but I just did not want to do cutting 22 pieces of chicken wire to go around these. So I did order vole bags for them. I ordered the gallon size, even though these are pint containers, to give myself A, it's easier to get them on the plant, but B, it gives the plant some wiggle room. And I got a really pretty hosta down here. The problem is they're not here yet. They were supposed to be here yesterday, but you know how it goes, they aren't here yet. So we are going to put our drip out, get everything lined up, drill our holes, and then hopefully our bags will be here. And if not, then it's gonna be, I don't know what it's gonna be. Because I really need to mulch today too, because I'm about to work 8 days in a row again. This is my last day to do it. So let's get up and take a look at what we're looking at. So this is what we're planting here, the Invincible Limetta. So you see these green blooms, like imagine that against that dark space. It's really, really gonna brighten it and be a nice big pop. It's really what I'm looking forward to here. And then having the availability to add seasonal interest as well, and then having these pots with some evergreen interests is gonna be pretty too. The other thing about it is my husband likes to be able to walk around these things because we like to put up Christmas lights and all that kind of stuff. So it not being an evergreen when it dies back in the fall, we're gonna try not to snap the branches off, but you'll be able to get around it because it's deciduous. So, alrighty, let's take a look at what we're dealing with. This is the front of the house. Like it, you know, symmetrical. So there's a bed here that's always been here, and I've got the bed over there, and I've got my planters. Again, like see all these that are dangling off? I'm going to trim those up. So that's the little mushroom cap. And then we also desperately need to mow the grass, but again, it's been super wet, so just look past that. So over here, we've got 3 lines of drip. I need to take out that back line of drip, and then I need this container. I'm gonna scoot it to where it's supposed to be, and I will add the drip to that. We don't have the plant for that yet. I'm gonna source that out soon. But then I also added this bed here so that it would be symmetrical. So the pot for that needs to be moved back here. And then we need to add the 2 lines of drip there. So the way that we're gonna do this drip is we've got black poly that comes up from there. So what we'll do is pull that off, then we'll get another black poly and connect it and run it over here. And then we'll do our brown drip tubing, 2 lines here, 2 lines all the way, and it does curve around the side. We do have 22 plants, so hopefully that'll be enough. Tighten the camera up. So let me just set this camera up, time lapse it, and we'll get that going. take you off the thing and walk around and show you what you did. It is threatening to rain something serious. It really brings back the vibes, and it's very satisfying today to be out here doing this. If it doesn't rain me out. Also, I wanted to add in that when we get done in each one of these beds, we're going to be placing these vole deterrent devices. They're solar powered. Can you hear that? And they like shake the ground, discouraging them from digging in there. I'd heard mixed reviews online, but someone came in my store and said that they actually know that these work. Sorry, critter check. And so I purchased like 8 of them. They're not that cheap. I will link them down below. And I put them where the Supertinias that line the driveway are. I have a big vole problem there. Even though those are in actual baskets this year, they were actually eating them, instead of eating the roots because they couldn't get to those, they were just eating the actual plants. So I put these in and I haven't had a problem since. So I'm gonna put one of these in each bed. Also, we have termite bait stations up here, so I will be getting some gnomes or something to put over those so that they can denote them. So let me show you what we did with the drip. So, sorry for the shakiness. Let's start on this end of the house. So for reference, if anybody doesn't know, here's our house. Let's do that. Here's our house. So this is, I cut out this bed to match the other one. Okay. If you remember when we put this big bed over here, this is where it's at. So look what we got going on here. A lot more actual landscaping going on. So this bed had nothing in it. So we put 2 lines here, connected them with elbows. We did 1/4 inch off this, ran it up the pot with 1/4 inch black poly, connected a line of 1/4 inch drip, and goof plugged it so that when we put stuff in here, it'll be good to go. Continued our 1/2 inch drip tubing all the way over to here. Black polyed it to the other side of the bed. This is the old bed. It's very weedy. We've got the old drip here that we installed several years ago together. I do have a video up about that. I will link it down below. And we cut out this 3rd line because we're not gonna have anything planted that far back. Cut that out all the way across. Then elbowed these together so we've got plenty of drip here. And then I threw the weeds in here, and same thing as the other pot. So let me back up and give you kind of the view of what we're dealing with here. Again, lots of weeds. We'll take care of that while we're mulching. We'll pull the ones that are too big to mulch and just mulch over the other ones. But that's gonna be how it's gonna look. Excuse me while I shake the camera and look for critters. As I walk through the grass that's too tall. This is what it's gonna look like. It'll be symmetrical, finally. With lots of, see how dark it is up there? I really wanna put some pots up there, but I need to get some self-watering containers so that they don't have water all over the thing. Sorry, I'm checking for, I just hear something out to get me. But it'll be bright chartreusey flowers, or that's the hope. At least green leaf, which will look good. Again, need to trim it up to here and up to here. You just go in, give a little haircut, give it some fertilizer. All right, so the next step is going to be laying out our 22 plants. Again, these are going to look tiny up here, but they will grow fast enough and such. So let's get to laying them out. Alrighty, so I've gotten them all placed, and I wanted to show you what I did with that. So wanted to leave plenty of room from the back. Again, these will get 3 to 4 feet tall and wide, probably over here, not 4. But I wanted to make sure we had ample space, you know, 2 feet here and 2 feet here towards the back. Again, not wanting to put any water near my house. But the way I spaced them, I did 3-foot spacing on them, and I started on this side, leaving myself some room for walkway. That also leaves me the opportunity to put a pot right there. But I take a just garden stake, got a bunch of these, marked 3 feet on it, and then I just laid it out and did it that way. So let's start on one end and go to the other. I also bumped my pots back quite a bit on either side to kind of make it work a little better, making sure to stay away from the house. So we've got them all down this way. And then we're gonna go over here. Wyatt's out here helping, which is super fun, but he doesn't have any clothes on, so he can't be on camera. Ooh, it looks like it's gonna rain. Please hold out. And then we did the same thing here. Again, I bumped the pot back quite a bit. So now we've got them all placed, and we're gonna dig the holes for them. But since I don't have the vole bags, because I'm gonna do the vole bags as well as the stakes that shake the ground, because those have been the two things that have seemed to help the most, and I don't want to take a chance on these. I'd like to keep these for a while, and it will take them several years before they get up to size and get up to blooming. So this is definitely a faith in planting kind of project, but I think it's going to be gorgeous when we can get it done. I don't know if I mentioned either that I did leave some space right here next to the stairs, so if I want to do something, some statuary or something seasonal or a pot, especially when they're younger, maybe something cute in it, that we can do that. So in order to dig these holes, what we'll do is dig the holes, and then we'll go ahead and put the biotone in the holes. Definitely gonna hit these with biotone starter fertilizer to give them their best chance at success. We're gonna dig them with our auger. So this is the Twist and Plant from Proven Winners. The tip of it's getting a little crazy. This one over here that I've worked many times should be fine, should be no big deal. That one's gonna be questionable whether or not it's gonna work well, but everything, like I say, is super wet, so that'll make it really easy for the auger to go in, and we are fighting against time, trying to do this before it rains. But what we'll do is we'll go ahead and put these, then just sink the cans into the holes, and then whenever my little baggies arrive after work, I can come out here and slip them in the baggies and throw them in the ground real quick. We'll go ahead and actually mulch around them, and then hope that we don't screw up the mulch real bad when we put them in the ground, because I'd really like to have it be at least tidy up here. So I'll go ahead and start doing the holes for the plants. Again, when you're using an auger, especially this one is a perfect size for these quart sizes, and I'll rock it around in there too to give myself a little extra room. You wanna have one of these handles, and you wanna be able to brace yourself. I usually go in like this configuration here, and that way I can brace my elbows against me and that kind of thing. So we'll just go ahead and zip through getting all of these done real quick, and then we'll sink the cans in there, and then the most back-breaking but also most rewarding part, we'll go ahead and put mulch down as well. And again, I did bump the containers back quite a bit. That container over there is real not level. So I will probably, I should tighten up the line on this too, but sometimes you just got to cut your losses and go with what you got. I will come up here. I will probably try to level that with some mulch. So it's getting real shady. Let's knock this part down. Maybe this will make it easier. Should probably done that to start out with, huh? All right, let's get to auging. Alrighty, so the consensus on that was that in fact, over here much harder to dig. It is, generally speaking, hard to dig where I live. We don't have dirt. We've got roots tied together with rocks. So if you're wondering what I do about roots, I don't concern myself. Just move the plant over a little bit, or whatever. So now, let's mulch. I believe I'm gonna go get a rake to mulch. I think that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna go get a rake. Because I got a new rake and don't fall apart, so, you know, let's use it. Getting sweaty out here. It's hot, it's humid. It's not as bad as it could be. It could be a lot worse. It's like almost July here. It could be 90 degrees. Very thankful that this day is what it is, because it's not super hot and the ground is really moist. So birds, I mean the wildlife here, it's great, but it's a little bit intrusive, but it's great. Like I have a love-hate with it. Like, don't scare me, but you're cute. I think y'all get me on that. All right, let's go get a rake. Good news. I only have one extra plant, and I'm gonna put that in a container somewhere, but I thought that was pretty good. Maybe I'll just put it down there. I'm gonna go get a rake. It's hot out here now, and full sun, so not good for the after, but we did run out of mulch, but we did get it pretty well done. I left my biotone up here on the porch. I will water these since these aren't going to the ground today. But like everything else, the mulch kills it, especially when I started on the new bed. That was really fun. On the new bed, I went a lot deeper on the mulch than I did on the old bed. The old bed is pretty well been mulched so many times that it's getting kind of thick. So I tried to spread out some of that mulch or blend it in, but let me take you for a look around because it's coming together. And again, this is definitely a faith in planting type of thing. But look how much cleaner it looks. I mean, mulch just does so much. I hate doing it, but it does make a huge impact, and especially when we have this. You know, we may come back in and do something in front of this pot. Maybe not. Hopefully you can see that. I mulched this one as well because it was looking a little funky. I know it's super bright. You turn. But if you go past, I think this is going to make the biggest difference. Having a symmetrical bed on the other side is going to be a game changer. I've always loved our house. I love the style of our house. I do need, like I said, I did run out of mulch, but I probably should have cut in the line one more time before I put the mulch down, but that's okay. It is looking really, really beautiful. I'm really enjoying this. You know, it's a lot of work, but I'm making a big impact here. You think about all the things that we've done in the last couple years and how far we've come, and it's a lot. I think there was a saying one time, we overestimate what we can do in a day and underestimate what we can do in a year. But look at that. Like, that's gonna be a complete game changer as far as how my house looks, and the just imagine these up, maybe right up to here, bright green chartreusey blooms. It will take them several years to get there. This is definitely a faith in planting type of thing. It will take them several years to get there, but just when they start to leaf out even more and they've got some bright green color and some symmetry up here, I think it's going to be really, really beautiful. Really, really loving this. This has been a very satisfying one. Anytime you're dealing with mulch, it usually is. I need to mulch this. That's neither here nor there. But this one's a real winner. Just like I say, the symmetry for the house and how good that's looking, it's gonna be really fun. So now that I am a giant hot mess, anybody remember when it was COVID and everybody's like, I had no idea how much I touched my face. If you were a gardener, you knew, because you'd come in and your face would be covered and you'd be like, I don't even know. But anyhow, I am super excited about how this is turning out. The yard is really starting to come together. I'm really looking forward to planting all these things up and having these beautiful, beautiful spaces up here in the woods. Thank you guys so very much for watching, and we will see you in the next one. Bye.